Today, I'm here to present to you my study entitled Relationship, Digital Tourism Strategies and Performance, Beach and Water Resorts in Misamis Oriental Amidst the New Normal. I am Bert Anthony S. Bade. I am a student of Capital University Graduate School. I am also a Region 10 accredited regional tour guide, and this study is my thesis for the program Master in Public Service Management. The rationale of the study. I recognize that COVID-19 affected and an immediate recovery response has to be done, so I researched on the role of digital marketing and how the government can optimize its intervening role, help tourism recovery, better public policy, and bridge the gap between all of this to bring out a resilient tourism industry. The framework of the study. As for the conceptual framework as shown in the schematic diagram below, you can see the interplay of variables that were used in the study. What the schematic diagram is illustrating is how the profile of resorts and their employees influence the use of digital tourism strategies, which in turn influences its performance. With the findings of the study, which should be elaborated later on, a policy recommendation was derived for the state enhanced digital tourism strategies. Compelling reasons to conduct the study. It is common knowledge that tourism is one of the hardest hit industries when COVID-19 struck. The fact was catastrophic. Businesses, jobs, and even our sanity were very much uncertain if it was a thing. There were efforts from all sectors concerned. Happened. Misamis Oriental, best with its beach and water theme resorts, suffered massive losses as well. For someone who is with the tourism industry for 5 years now, not the same unpreparedness to happen again. So, the study is not just for tourism and its response measures. This has a personal sentiment researcher. The methods of the study. The participants of the study were 38 beach and water theme resorts and 12 municipal officers. The design used in this study were mixed methods. Hybrid approach was adopted in this study, such as face-to-face interview and virtual means of interview because of the travel restrictions. Instruments of the study. Researcher made questionnaires with constructs adapted to published studies. Statistical treatment of data, descriptive statistics, ANOVA and t-test analysis. Qualitative data was also thematically analyzed. I am here to present to you the discovery or the results of the study. Here are some striking outliers. Half of the resorts that participated in the study had been in the tourism industry 0 to 5 years old when the pandemic hit. Another 3/4 of the resorts operated partially during the pandemic. Another striking discovery was that the majority of the resorts do not have digital marketing in charge. Presenting to you right now is the mean distribution of digital tourism strategies used by the resorts. So there are 6 constructs that comprise digital tourism strategies or DTS. Search engine marketing, content marketing, affiliate advertising, social media marketing, online public relations marketing, and email marketing. Overall, there is low usage of DTS in Misamis Oriental amidst the new normal. This time, I'm going to present to you the mean distribution of tourism performance of resorts amidst the new normal in Misamis Oriental. Tourism performance or TP, there are 3 constructs: customer acquisition, revenue generation, and employment provision, all of which scored low. So DTS and TP, both of them have scored low. Another set of discoveries. First, the study discovered that age, years employed, and level of education were found to have a significant difference in employment of digital tourism strategies. The study also revealed that years in the tourism business, the operational capability of the resort, size of the resort have a significant difference in the employment of digital tourism strategies. The data also revealed that all constructs of tourism performance had a significant relationship with all constructs of DTS or digital tourism strategies. Now, triangulating the survey responses with the responses acquired from key informant discussion, the study revealed that there were government support and interventions indirectly or directly related to digital tourism amidst the pandemic, but were undermined by policy gaps, starting with government intervention and support, first of which is there were DTS-related interventions during the pandemic, such as social media initiatives, endorsements, and virtual trainings. There were also organizational support programs, such as several government agencies and offices were able to coordinate with the resorts to cope with retrenchment and IATF advisories. There were also food and cash assistance during the pandemic, social amelioration program, the Bayanihan Act 1 and 2, and other initiatives from central and local government to provide cash assistance. Despite having government support interventions, there are policy gaps that were revealed during the course of the study. First one is poor ICT infra and infrastructure. This is the policy gap that matches digital tourism strategies related interventions. So it was found out that there are resorts in Misamis Oriental that have low connectivity to the internet primarily because of their location. That being said, any digital means of communication is a major obstacle. Both the resorts and the government were found not ready for the technological shift. Internet connection is already an issue. The user of the internet is another. It was observed that several respondents have a hard time responding and navigating through the digital means of communication. There's also disadvantageous organizational structure of local tourism offices. That is, municipal tourism offices are not institutionalized, therefore, they are not a standalone department that has its own operation. This means not enough manpower, not enough investment in gadgets for digital tourism. Some tourism offices even have to share office with other ad hoc offices. Last policy gap that is matched with cash assistance, there were private public sector misunderstanding. So there are misunderstandings between the interests of the government and the resorts. It's like one side claiming to have given enough, the other is demanding more. One side demanding compliance and the other clamors for ease. As for the conclusion and recommendations of the study, I'll start first with my conclusion. For this study, there is a conclusion that the very medium that bridges the plan and the execution of digital tourism is also problematic. This pertains to the quality and access to technology and even to users of the said technology. Second, part of the conclusion is that the organizational dynamics of local tourism offices cannot keep up the mandates of public service. Any organization that we know of cannot transcend by anything close to what is expected if it's understaffed, underfinanced, and not empowered. And lastly, well, Filipinos are still politically immature. In general, we are still incapable of political interactions that harness nation building. We still haven't understood how the government works, and as a nation, we are inclined to seek privileges and less likely to get involved in duties and responsibilities. As for the recommendations of the study, there are two. One pertains to future research and the other are policy recommendations. For recommendation for future research, a larger sample size is recommended considering this study was conducted and there were several travel restrictions. As for the policy recommendations, reach the state of enhanced digital tourism strategies, First is investment in trainings on DTS for tourism officers. That means tourism officers should be given the capability and capacity to enhance DTS in their locality. This is recommended because majority of DTS trainings are coming from the national offices. Second, inclusive participation of tourism stakeholders. To address the polarizing interest between the government and resorts, a recommendation drawn from one of the elements of good governance is proposed, census-oriented. Basically, the government should reach out to the resort operators for the discussion of issues and concerns, and also the resorts should also willingly participate in consultative meetings. As for the impact and outcomes of the study, this study adds to the body of knowledge in the field of public service management that there is a policy gap between the government's response to the pandemic and how it actually went on the actual implementation, particularly towards the tourism industry. Policy recommendations that were mentioned here were aligned with existing medium and long-term developmental plans of the state, which can become the basis for public policy evaluation and shoot for the next normal. These are the references of my study. Some of the references that ends my presentation. So much.